Alrighty. Where do I start? Where the fuck do I start? Where the fuck do I start? One, I guess I'll say that figuring all of this out was assisted for the entire period for 10 years, over 10 years, by God. So there's that. And it's taken me on a wild goose chase throughout the entire world, constantly in a war against the pharmaceutical industry. My guess is that my father had some type of claim to the island of Tasmania. There was a settlement on his divorce with his first wife, herself being a pharmacist and coming from a prominent family in Victoria or Sydney and New South Wales. I can't exactly, or Canberra, I can't remember. And I will note that she was having an affair. This was on the no-fault divorce established, and the 1984 private health proceedings were established after this to establish the largest opium fields in Tasmania for the supply of opiate alkaloid containing morphine source product poppies due to the ideal conditions. The current Premier, Roger Cook, a lot of you fuckwits have caused a lot of trouble. The current Premier, Jeremy Rockcliffe's father, actually, company called something or other, Tasmanian Poppies Association, and now called something else. It's all going to be presented in a moment. Is now the so-called Premier of Tasmania. The Governor of Tasmania, last name Baker. I'll just let everyone know that this Baker Act is a United States act to hold people believed to be under psychiatric distress, which again is been utilised in all the different sections. My mother being completely captured by the pharmaceutical cult and industry for the last 40 years. Both of the founders of the current SK, whatever it is, SK something or other, SK Capital, are both descendants of Iran. My mother's last and most troubling psychiatrist was an Iranian psychiatrist as well, who has caused untold damage at a time where I would consider an invasion by Iranian drug lords. For the last 10 years, substantially, culminating to the COVID-19 pandemic, in which a pharmaceutical religion was attempted to be perpetrated on the entire world. Quite literally, the opium of the masses was grown in Tasmania. Upwards of 60% of the legal supply of opium, which is basically, if you want to know where the Sackler family got their opium from, they got it from Tasmania, I'm guessing, on the open international market. They might have been the promotional end, but the back end chemical supply, and obviously, larger aspirations are coming from these two Iranian nationals, which I'll claim as Iranian nationals, despite the fact that they're obviously United States citizens. Jamshid Kenyajad and Dr. Barry Siadat. So Dr. Barry Siadat was born in Iran and is a naturalized American citizen. And this pretty strongly aligns with exactly what I'm talking about. This is a pharmaceutical cult that is masquerading and plugged straight into our socialized medical system for the last 40 years. to normalize the use of these invasionary psychiatric powers. Again, this is a misconception of English and British culture that this was something that we did. We had asylums, and they were kind of a place where there was, people that were a bit disturbed could go, and it actually wasn't all that terrible. This industrial pharmaceutical psychiatric empire seems to be continuously leading towards an Iranian regime, and is by far a genocidal force across the entire world. And its main targets have been non-elite descendants of British, so this is English, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, Christian migrants across the entire former British empire. And so, we're going to have to fucking get some pretty clear things. I will basically say that the British Army should now land quite firmly in Hobart. And despite, I actually like Jeremy Rockcliffe, but there's too much here, especially the nonsense about this football stadium and the constant reference to the devil, and the Baker Act. This is coming from the governor. It's like, all right, it's time for us to recommandeer Tasmania now and take it off these criminals and get down to the bottom of it, which will hold all future crops from this SK Industries in a secure location for the Australian federal government to deal with. And we should start basically deconstructing this illegal prison that has been established on Australian soil. I look forward to seeing whether it was, in fact, my father's first wife, whose name would have been Alison Wise. I'm not sure what her maiden name was, but if we can get a connection through to that. And it was not ever made aware to me that my father ever was actually aware of any type of claim that he had to Tasmania at all. I will swear on any Bible, this was not something he knew. So this was all done in the shadow, considering he left Tasmania when he was 17. He was never basically, he never knew anything that was going on. My guess is as well that this is linked up to something in Denmark. So I guess I'll have to look a little bit closer. And this is the reason why the Queen of Denmark was chosen from Tasmania. It's because they supply 60% of the opium of the world. I feel a bit embarrassed that I wasn't made aware of this until earlier, or that I didn't discover this until earlier, but it's by far the largest connection that I've seen in this whole case. It is out of this world. I cannot actually believe that we have a premier claiming to represent the interests of Tasmanians while he's basically shipping off the most destructive chemical to the United States people. And my belief is if we do not intervene here in this time and make appropriate or take appropriate measures to restrict both the distribution of opium and the distribution of this dangerous psychiatric pharmaceutical cult, then, do you know what I mean? We deserve everything we get. Nasty fucking filthy shit. And let the fucking chips fall where they may. I don't give a shit about a fucking AFL stadium. I don't give a shit about a fucking football team, about anything like this. I care that this has been fucking swept under the rug, that it is so blatantly there, and kept, and that I've been forced to fucking walk this tightrope, inside of incarceration system that was basically stolen, or the geographical rights to this was stolen away from my father. If there is a Jewish connection to my father's family, which I believe there is, and this is, pretty open and shut. It's, this was a theft, and then a surrounding. We've got key figures like my mother intervening at a certain point, having me. Obviously, I'm just the fucking problem child who's somehow, whatever. My younger brother was absolutely, not a shadow of doubt, murdered by the pharmaceutical industry and by this psychiatric cult. My sister is imprisoned and basically enslaved by their same ridiculous fucking ideology that is all plain in sight. Seen the largest disruption to the United States previous to the pandemic and the vaccinations and things like that was the opioid crisis, and that was grown in Tasmania. And that is, it shows a country and a state that was built on apples and potatoes. And this is kind of the largest thing that I see from Mr. Rockcliffe is the constant promotion of himself as a farmer. I grow potatoes and cabbages and fucking bullshit. Even I fell for it. I didn't look. It's like, no, mate, you grow fucking opium. You grow heroin for the masses and you fucking distribute it from my family's fucking island under the fucking cover of the Australian federal government, under the cover of the Liberal Party, under the cover of all this bullshit. And you wave your fucking bullshit around and try and fucking hypnotize the masses while they're getting basically robbed in the fucking casino there. And then you wave a fucking AFL flag and you rip the entire fucking state from its thing. So, this is the heaviest form of exposure right now. This warrants all types of things. This warrants a direct reclaiming by the British Navy and the British Air Force and the British Army. Hopefully the Australians will join in to liberate Tasmania and bring it back to the fold and to secure it as a naval and military base, and basically to secure up all that fucking opium. It's pretty clear. It's like if you terrorize an entire elderly generation, you lull them into a sense of that they're going to be crippled by old age. You then lull them into a situation of absolute terror, which is called terrorism, with a false narrative about a virus. And you ship them in, and the last resort, of course, is to bump them up with a bunch of Tasmanian fucking homegrown opium just to fucking lull them into sleep while their country and their fucking nation and their empire is fucking stripped. I watched my father change from the moment he was an absolutely stoic, fucking noble warrior type man, not outwardly, but in his personal strength. And the moment he was put on opioids was the moment he gave up and died. And so pretty clear wartime strategy there coming from this whole thing. This is high treason by every single person attached to this. And it's time to move in. On the successful recapture of Tasmania, it will be brought to as an independent nation, a kingdom, and there'll be a line drawn of longitude around the entire world that is basically ties Tasmania to the also soon to be captured Greenland. It's time for all of you to get the fuck off Greenland. If you're from Germany, Denmark, the UK, wherever the fuck you are, get the fuck off my fucking island right now. This is all fucking over and done with. If you're Iranian, it's time to go home. And if you're in a psychiatric profession in the last 20 years, it's time to go back for re-education and to be educated to the actual fucking atrocities that you've been committing under the banner of the Union Jack and under the banner of the British Crown, and in direct opposition to it. So, gross negligence, treason, all these types of things. It's time to come back in and learn what you've done. Basically, this is all fucking over. Opium might be a fucking very useful substance in certain times, in certain positions, but when it's used like this as a weapon of war, and we should know, okay? That's the other fucking thing I'm going to let you know. As the British Empire, we should know, and we do know. And when it's utilized on us, and I find out that it's coming from my fucking kingdom, holy shit, are we going to fucking make the walls fucking rattle in that fucking little hellhole down there, in that little devil's fucking den, in that little fucking commandeered fucking drug den. like a fucking crack house. There's a fucking crack lab. There's a fucking ice lab in Tasmania, and it's time to fucking shut it the fuck down. I want every fucking single fucking skerrick of that shit fucking plowed up and put in a fucking container and fucking watched under 24-hour fucking surveillance. I want to dry this fucking opium fucking ship up. It is going to be dried out completely. I'm not going to do anything stupid like the Chinese fucking did and throw it in the fucking ocean, do some type of thing. It's like, no, we're going to sort this out. So yeah, I guess just another reason why we're going to obliterate fucking Iran and its fucking hideous Muslim fucking regime. And you want to step it back through fucking Iranian fucking, monarchies and things like that, you can get fucked. Yeah. After this shit, we don't trust anyone Iranian to look after Iran. We're going to look for somewhere else to fucking be the king of fucking that place. Perhaps the fucking Catholics can step in and fucking do something there. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Perhaps the Greeks. If the Greeks got a person that can fucking, step in and rule over that place. I know it lands on my line. I've got two lines. I've got one that goes through the fucking false map, which draws a line on every single fucking conflicted territory and every single war boundary. That line doesn't exist really. It exists on our map, which is a strange place to fucking put a line because it doesn't align with the actual fucking world. But yeah, I don't know. Basically, that line is now being exposed as a fucking global opium war that has been used to destroy, or attempted to be used to destroy Christendom, which is the entire global community of people that is an absolute fact, yeah. And including theism included into that, and both sides, Catholic and Protestant, and of course Orthodox religions. So anybody seeking to transport opium across that fucking line will be absolutely brought to their fucking knees. This isn't an attempt to take control and then continue the profiteering of a fucking disgusting. It is exactly what the Chinese did. We're going to fucking destroy it. Basically, we're going to keep it for whatever, because this is it. This is the supply fucking held. And so the responsibility of the entire global fucking medical world right now is to responsibly manage opioid supply distribution. It's like, yeah, if you're dying of fucking severe fucking things right at the end of you're allowed some opium. If you're not, you can die in pain like everyone else. I'm in pain every fucking day, and you know what I mean? It's like there's two options. You have a bullet or you have opium. That's it. If you're at the stage where it's a bullet, then you can have some opium. If you're not, then no fucking opium for any of you. This is a disgusting, absolutely fucking woeful fucking state of affairs for the entire fucking world. And it's time to also start mopping up all the other people, the people that promoted this and distributed the Sackler family, bring them to their fucking knees, the fucking Iranian fucking drug lords, the people like the fucking dentists that have also normalized this type of anesthetic fucking cult of fucking, plastic surgery and body modification and transhumanist idea, all this shit. You know what I mean? You were born perfect, you were born whole, and then your job is to fucking find your role in this world. It's not to present yourself like a fucking clown or a fucking prostitute to a marketplace of fucking, degenerate fucking degenerate purchases. That's not what the world is. It's also pretty clear that these are all the fucking things. And, the moment this shit gets in, obviously we have our own Western flavor of how this opium crisis has hit us as opposed to the Chinese. There's, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Chinese aren't going to be fucking pleased with themselves. But it's all over. It's all fucking done and dusted. I don't give a shit about the economic situation, the momentary economic situation of Tasmania when this has been brought to my attention. And I just basically I put it to anyone to explain how else I put all this together. Why else would have I done this? It's very clear to me. Like I've been instructed to do. This is a fucking absolutely unholy fucking thing on earth. And I hate AFL anyway. So it's like the devil's saying my jersey's not here. It's all coming together, isn't it? It's like my arrogance and whatever. I was thinking that obviously because Tasmania is such a beautiful place, in the words of Venus Williams, that I obviously thought everyone there had the moral fortitude and the things. I just assumed that was part of Tasmanian culture, but obviously it's not. And so I guess, me slaying the devil. You take it as you want. You explain it how you want. You know what I mean? You say whatever it is that you need to say, and you do whatever it is you need to do. But as far as I'm concerned, I was basically sent on a journey to do this, and I've been successful, and it will be done now. And anyone who gets in the way of it will be fucking obliterated. And anyone that continues on this fucking bullshit will be obliterated. There's no questions here. This is Australia. This is the British Empire. We will not be fucking brought down by fucking desert fucking, delusional fucking gypsy bandits. No matter how expensive their suits are, no matter how many PhDs, whatever the fuck it is, no matter how strong their stock is, and it's like fuck off. It's all done and dusted. And Jeremy Rockcliffe, I don't want to fucking set eyes on you on Australian soil ever again. Not on any fucking timeline ever. Your entire family is fucking banished. Goodbye.